It's not your savings. Most people over 50 run their retirement math on a number that quietly lost 32% of its value while they weren't even looking. And nobody told them about it, and nobody told them to recalculate it. That sentence should make you feel uncomfortable. If you're planning to retire in 10 years or less, you are working off numbers that set even 5 or longer ago, then you're building a future on a foundation that's already cracked. Here's what I mean. Inflation doesn't send you a letter. It doesn't tap on your shoulder and say, hey, that's retirement number you picked. It's wrong now. Recalculate, go back. No, it doesn't do that. It just quietly eats at your purchasing power while you keep on saving towards a target that's already moved. And the real problem is most retirement advice tells you to save more, cut back, be disciplined, but nobody talks about the one number that actually changes everything. I'm going to walk you through the 7 steps here. And at the end of it, it gets dark, but at the end of it, hopefully there'll be a light at the end of the tunnel and you're not going to end up at 58, 60 going, wow, I wish I'd listened to that video a bit earlier. So if you want to retire in 10 years or less, let's look at the steps that we need to do. But before we do that, we need to understand why the numbers matter, especially after 50. But first, you need to see why the standard approach fails. You've been told your whole life to put money away, max out on your pension. Good advice, okay? If the employer matches that, very good advice. You've been told maybe to buy a nice and max that out. Again, good advice. You've been told be sensible. And you did that, okay? And you were responsible, but now you're looking at the clock. 10 years feels short. The traditional path was designed for people starting out at 25. You started out at 25, you put 10% of your income away for 40 years, and hey presto, at 65, you could retire. Not rich, but you could retire. Now, the compound growth ahead of them, that was the magic thing. Compound growth over time gets a good result. But we don't have 40 years. We need a different approach. And so we need a shorter one. We need something that'll get us to our target at a shorter time. So let's get into it. Step one, calculate your target capital number. Now, if you're in the public sector, this is a bit different. But if you're in the private sector, basically work out your capital number, not a vague I'll be comfortable number, but a real one. Start with how much yearly income you actually need to live the life you want. Now, this is a scary bit. Double it. It sounds aggressive, but once you factor in taxes, inflation, it's closer to reality than most people think. If you need £30,000 net to live comfortably each year, then you actually need 60,000 gross, because in retirement you are taxed. That is based on withdrawals of roughly 6%, and that means you'll need £1 million in capital. Yeah, I just said that, £1 million in capital. Oh, that's your number. That's the target, not some fuzzy dream. A real specific figure you can work backwards from. Now, here's where most people stop. They see that number and they feel overwhelmed. But stay with me, okay? There's light at the end of the tunnel, okay? It gets dark, but we'll get there. Because step two makes it feel a lot more reachable. Step two, keep your overheads low. Watch out for lifestyle creep. Most people can trim their living expenses by 10 to 20% without losing a single thing that actually makes them happy. The trick is to focus on the big fixed costs: housing, cars, stuff that you buy because you think you're supposed to, not because they bring you joy. Nobody's telling you to give up your morning coffee there on toast. That's not the problem. The problem is the car payment you took on because your neighbor got a new one. Cut the big stuff. Keep the small pleasures. Your target number just got smaller just because you're doing you and you're not trying to keep up with the Joneses. That's a beautiful thing. Step three. And this is important. Invest. Don't save. Invest. Savers lose. I don't say that to be harsh. I say it because inflation eats cash. If your money is sitting in a savings account, then you're earning 2 or 3%. I remember the good years where you could actually earn 5%, but that's no longer the case. While inflation is running higher than that, inflation 5 or 6%, and you're going backwards. Your money is not keeping with inflation. You're getting poorer by being responsible. The Bank of England's own data has shown inflation outpacing typical savings accounts return for extended stretches, which means cautious option quietly becomes the costly one. Instead, channel your money into assets that grow. And I mean the ICE method. IC. So it's a model. It means income, capital, and equity. The best asset, things like property or a run that's run well, give you three of those. They pay you an income while you hold them, they appreciate in value over time, and they build you equity you can access. Compare that to gold or crypto, like a lot of people have been pushing recently, which might grow in capital value, but they don't pay you anything while you wait. Stocks can give you capital growth and dividends, which is better, but they don't get that built in equity inside. When you're working with a 10-year window or possibly less, you need assets working hard on all three. Step four, automatically invest everything, dividends, profits, cash flow, all of it goes back in the pot. Don't touch it. I know it's hard. When money comes in, there's always something tempting to spend it on, to treat yourself on a holiday, the new camera, or something like that. But locking your profits back into your investment does two jobs. It compounds your growth and it protects your wealth from your own temptation. That second part is the one that nobody talks about. It's all human. We spend what's available. So make it unavailable straight away. There's a you might have heard of this, pay yourself first. So basically, when you get something, it goes in that pot without you even seeing it. Compound interest is the most well documented force in finance. The more consistently you let it run, the more dramatically it bends in your favor. Step five, scale faster using other people's money. This might sound scary, but hear me out. It's building a property portfolio or growing a business, but you don't have to do it all with your own cash. You can use other people's money, you can raise capital. Yes, you give away a slice of equity, but it's giving away half of something means you can buy it 5 years sooner. That's a trade worth making every single time. Speed matters. You've heard it. Money loves speed. When you get to your 10-year window or 5-year window or 3-year window, you don't have time. You've got to have speed. Step six, remove the ceiling from your income. This is the one change my whole way of thinking. Traditional jobs, the ones most of us grew up believing were safe, they cap your income. You get a pay rise once a year, maybe 3 or 4% if you're lucky. Now, in the last 10 years, I remember, recently I've had a bit of a pay rise, but there was a 10-year window when I didn't get a pay rise or a below inflation pay rise. Think what that does against inflation. But if you shift into something where your income is tied to result, to value created, to owning something, there's no ceiling. But you based on output, not hours clocked. When you're trying to build real wealth in a decade or even less, that ceiling has to come off. Step 7. And this is the big one. I mentioned at the start, factor in inflation and adjust your target numbers over time. Remember that 32% figure from the opening, that's the kind of purchasing power erosion that possibly over a sustained high inflation period, it's not hypothetical. We've seen inflation surge, okay? That table I've got behind me there, I think I need a new one now, but I paid £49 for that about 5 years ago. I just looked at the price of that now, it's £150. That's real inflation for you. That's real cost of living hike for you. And above the 2% target, the most retirement calculators assume. So, come on. That's £1 million target you calculated in step 1, okay? Depending on the inflation environment over the next decade, the real world buying power could end up significantly lower than you expected. We've all heard the saying, £1 million isn't what it used to be. I can't believe I just said that, to be honest with you. That's precisely why we have to aim higher than you think you need. If you could build towards a £10 million asset base netting 5%, you've got serious cushion against inflation. Even if you don't get there, that you can be safer than that lower target that you set yourself. You're safe then from multiple dips in the market against unexpected things like, I'm not going to go into bad prime ministers we've had in this country. Now, I'm not saying everybody needs 10 million. I'm not even saying that everybody needs 1 million. I'm saying aim higher than feels comfortable because inflation will close that gap. Whether you plan for it or not, the number that felt right 3 years ago has already shifted. Recalculate, then recalculate again next year. That's the habit that separates people who retire comfortably and from those who just run out of money. So, those are your 7 steps. Know your real numbers. Keep overheads honest. Invest instead of saving. Reinvest everything. Use other people's money to move faster. Well, on the last one, we saw that during COVID when interest rates were zero. Wealthy people borrowed money, bought assets that paid, and they got richer over that time. Remove income ceilings and never stop adjusting for inflation. Still learning this stuff myself. I'm still going. I'm still figuring it out alongside you. So give me a like, give me a follow, put something in the comment. If I got it wrong, please educate me in the comments. But these steps, I think, are good steps when you actually follow them. They change the whole picture. And one more thing, if you want to see that removing that income ceiling that actually looks in practice, go check out the turnkey residual income system. There's a link down there. Have a link. Have a link. Have a look. Have a link. Anyway, I'll be back tomorrow with another video. If you stayed for this long, I think I might tag on a video at the end. No, I might not. Today I've been actually in that garden. I've been building chairs. I've been pulling things down. I've been reading. I've been having a whale of a time. And that's all I'm doing now, just going through this. Anyway, it pays a lot more. There's no ceiling. Every month, residual income done for your system. Come on, you know it makes sense. Have a look at these videos and see if I'm getting better at this.